so foggy.
I put on a dress and twirled in it.
Slight obsession with Harney and Sons teas. Stop by the bakehouse and get sourdough bread. This is not for me. Just like to clarify that right now. Parents and I are gonna come in and get a cup of coffee. Let's go to Aldi and see what kind of Christmas stuff they have. I just finished the Book of Lost Things. This might be the best bad guy I've ever read. My mom just called up to me and told me to look out my window. I asked why, as in I thought it had snowed somehow. No, it didn't snow. It's so foggy. I've never seen fog that soupy during the day before. The sun usually burns it off. It looks so cool. Well, obviously I have to get up now and go outside and take photos of it. By the way, hello fellow YouTubers, I'm Cassandra Joy and welcome to my channel. I got dressed in something I won't be wearing the rest of the day, but it'll look good for pictures if I am able to get any with all that fog. I need shoes though. How cold is it gonna be? Better put these shoes on. It'll probably be a little too cold to not have shoes. Every time I see fog, I always think of that movie quote that goes, "Fog is thick as peanut butter. You mean pea soup. You eat what you like and I'll eat what I like." Does anybody know what movie that's from? Comment your guesses below. Ooh, it smells like someone has a fireplace going. It's one of my favorite smells in the world. Look at all this fog. That's beautiful. You can't even see the road. That's gorgeous. The birds are all happy. You can hear them. Okay, I'm gonna go take some pictures. I feel like I'm on a Lord of the Rings movie set. It's just so pretty. I'm gonna try to do one of those running girl shots where basically you put it in slow-mo and a girl in a beautiful dress runs into a field. That's kind of what I'm trying to go for. See if I can do it. That was fun. I've changed out of my dress now and back into cozy clothes.
I took many photos of the fog.
You did.
I put on a dress and twirled in it.
Just trying to figure out what I want to eat for breakfast. I'm not sure what I want to eat. I don't really feel like cooking anything. I want something fast and easy, but I'm currently out of my sourdough bread that I love, so I need to go to my local bakehouse and get some. I had never bought sourdough from my local bakehouse before, just did it on a whim and fell in love with the fact, I mean the bread's really good, but I mostly fell in love with the fact that they slice it for you. The one irritant I have with homemade bread is that they never slice it, which I understand, it's to preserve the freshness, but it is a bear and a half and a total mess to slice it all up yourself. Maybe I'm just really bad at cutting bread, but my local bakehouse has a machine that does it for you, which is all sorts of cool. It's really sad that I'm fangirling over a bread slicer, isn't it? Never said I was cool, guys. Never once did that ever come out of my mouth. However, I do know I want this. You guys should all know by now my slight obsession with Harney and Sons teas. I would call myself a tea snob, so I have very high standards when it comes to flavor, to packaging, all the things. Harney and Sons, hands down, best tea I've ever had. Not sponsored either. I don't think they know I exist. That would be my I made it moment if Harney and Sons tea would sponsor me. I've tried this flavor out for the first time. Is it going to focus? There we go. It's called Gingerbread Festival. It's a black tea with ginger, cinnamon, and molasses, and when I tell you it smells so good. It smells like a candle. I am very partial to desserty kind of flavors. I don't really gravitate toward fruity flavors or the more bland flavors like English breakfast or Earl Grey. They don't have enough flavor for me. I love me a good desserty flavor. But even if the tea was terrible, look at the packaging. I think I'll turn this into a little plant pot when I'm finished with the tin because it's my colors. It's white and gold. It needs to have life after tea. I'm gonna make a mug of that for sure. And try to think of a low maintenance protein breakfast I can have. I don't have a bit of makeup on because I didn't feel like it. Not even mascara, which is really unusual for me. But today I didn't. Just a dose of real life for you. I have an errand I have to run in town, so I thought while I was out and about, I would stop by the bakehouse and get my sourdough bread. Kind of a might as well situation, you know? My shoes are still very wet from this morning's walk in the fog, which is not a nice feeling, but at least they're not squelching loudly or anything. Got my bread, and while I'm here, I want to check out a shop that's just around the corner called For All Seasons. See there, while I find my keys. I don't need anything from there, but I always like to browse, and they're never open when I'm here, and I think they're open today, so I want to check that out while I can. I just met the nicest old ladies at that shop. And so chatty, I love that. I had a very hard time filming in there though because it was so quiet. No music, you could hear a pin drop, and they were trying not to talk to each other to be respectful of me being there, but it made for very difficult filming. I couldn't turn my camera on because it makes noise when I turn it on or hit the record button, so I filmed some clips on my phone instead. And I did come away with one item. This is not for me. Just like to clarify that right now. I got a bag of these gold and silver ornaments. You could hang them on your tree, but my plan is to attach them to Christmas presents. So when I wrap everything, I'll tie one of these to the ribbon at the top and have it as kind of an accent piece. They can use it on their own trees if they want to, re-gift it when they wrap their own presents. This was only $2 and you get quite a few. I'm really happy with finding that. It's just a little thing, nothing major, but makes me excited because I'm already thinking about Christmas. Back home, just had some lunch. I look like I have no hair, but I promise I do. It's just pulled back. I'm about to jump into editing my vlog for Saturday. I just have the very last clip where I give a haul of everything I found from vintage market days. And after that I'm done, which will be really nice. Have it done early for once. In the meantime, I'm watching a playthrough of a video game. If you guys didn't know, I really love video games. I just don't like playing them myself. It's a little too much anxiety for me to play a game where there's lots of danger, lots of things happening all at once, and a lot of pressure. I would far prefer to watch someone who's really good at playing them, play through them, and it's like watching a movie with all the excitement and none of the stress. There's a video game called A Plague Tale. The one I'm watching is the sequel that just came out called Requiem. Basically, it takes place in Renaissance time period where there's a plague of rats that just are consuming everything. They're not normal rats. They seem to be controlled by some unforeseen force, and it turns out that the unforeseen force is the main character, Amicia's little brother. And being a little boy, he has no control over it. The story is about Amicia trying to protect her little brother at the same time as trying to keep them all out of danger from these rats that he can't control. It sounds very weird explaining it to you, but anyway, I promise it's a good story. My favorite Let's Play gamer that I really enjoy watching is called Gab Smolders. I will warn you now, she curses a lot. But if you can get past that, she's a really enjoyable person to watch play video games. I don't like all of the games she plays, but obviously you can pick and choose which one you want to watch. So I'll be watching that while I edit and work on my night sky project for a little bit. If you wonder what I'm curled up with, I'm curled up with my favorite denim jacket. This has a Sherpa lining and it's so nice. It's by Refuge. I got it from Charlotte Russe, I think. It's so cute, so comfy. And I happened to have worn it today, so I thought, well, it's right here. I'll just curl up with it like a blanket. Don't judge me. It's warm and cozy. My vlog. I've got it uploaded and ready to go. Also took a shower because my hair was in desperate need of some TLC. Now I'm gonna get changed so that I can go to Aldi. I follow a couple Aldi accounts and they just posted that there are tons of Christmas things at Aldi right now. Everything from food to gifts to decor. So I thought it would be fun if we took a little browse. And if we happened to pick up one or two Christmassy things, I mean, would that really be the end of the world? It is November after all. I feel like we can safely start buying things for Christmas and not feel too judged by the people, mainly my mom, who believe that nothing Christmas should be uttered or bought or even entertained until the day after Thanksgiving. I'm not one of those people, obviously, so we're just gonna do it anyway. So I've never seen the show Stranger Things, but I just feel like this outfit looks like it would be from the show. I don't know if it's just because it's a t-shirt and a denim jacket, but feeling very Stranger Things today. We're out and about in the square today. Curtis is off getting wine-ins because he doesn't like purebred coffee. Shameful. And the parents and I are gonna come in and get a cup of coffee. What'd you get?
I don't know.
What was it? An apple something?
Apple cinnamon coffee cake.
Thank you. Apple cinnamon coffee cake. That was the verdict.
Yes, it's very good. It really demands some coffee or Thai tea or something.
Well, that's on its way. We're all out and about because we voted. So we decided while we were out and about we would just grab a cup of coffee, and then when we go home I'll head to Aldi and see what kind of Christmas things they have.
I don't remember that you decided. I think you
Decided what?
you were going to stop for some coffee.
All I did was ask, does anybody want to stop for coffee before going home? To which Dad said, sure.
You decided. Right?
Yep.
Is this a happy wife, happy life moment?
Oh, this us combining to disagree with you. It's not even a hesitation.
Oh, great. Outvoted, just automatically.
Exactly.
Curtis is still out getting his coffee because he doesn't like purebred coffee. He prefers wine-ins, which the last time I got wine-ins I threw it away after one sip, so I feel like that explains my thoughts.
Said he prefers wine.
He prefers wine-in, yeah. Did he learn that from you?
Big sister.
Oh! Did you see the abuse I have to put up with?
You asked, I just answered the question.
She says smugly. Coffees have arrived. What do we think? Yeah?
It's great.
What'd you get?
So pumpkin chai spice.
Oh, and you got the same thing.
I got it first.
I see, I see.
I follow her wise leadership.
I got myself an iced chai with oat milk, and it tastes very good. It's still a little too warm for something hot. I don't think I'm ready. It has to be a really cold, gloomy day for me to want something hot. Okay, delicious. Look who showed up.
Yes.
With his other coffee.
You tell me. Large. Also large. Both cost the same.
It's all about the taste for me. I thought size didn't matter.
Oh, it does.
We never said that.
That's a lie.
Alright, stopped home to change out my jacket. I didn't need the fleece lined one. It was far too warm, so I switched out for just my normal denim 24/7 jacket. Let's go to Aldi and see what kind of Christmas stuff they have. I've been looking on their Instagram and they have so many cool things. Candles, decor, snacks. I'm so excited to see what they have, but I just hope that it's not all gone already. I know people get there early and get there quick, and it's kind of a snooze you lose situation, so let's hope they have some stuff. Definitely want to snap myself an advent calendar, and maybe some decor if it's priced well. My word, that was so hard to film in there. Everybody was crowding the Christmas aisle. People weren't even being polite about it a lot of the time. They were just kind of shimmying their way to get what they wanted. I did manage to snag a few things, but I think I'm gonna drive home first before showing you, because I'm currently listening to The Book of Lost Things, which I went into completely blind on a recommendation of someone I follow on Instagram. I have an hour and 40 minutes left of the audiobook, and it's at the most crucial spot. And it absolutely killed me to pause it just to go into Aldi, so I think I'm gonna listen to it on the way home and then show you everything I got. The only way I can describe The Book of Lost Things is to call it a twisted fairy tale. It's like the Brothers Grimm. It's those fairy tales. It's not the pretty Disney version. It's the gritty, magical, slightly horrible, but in a way that you have to keep reading, or in my case, listening. So I'm gonna listen to what happens next and give you a little food haul when I get home. All right, I'm back home. I have not finished the book yet. It's getting so good. It's killing me. I would like to add a little warning to anybody who decides to read The Book of Lost Things. It's not for the faint of heart. I wouldn't call it a horror by any means, but there are aspects of it that are just not pleasant. I can't tell you exactly without ruining the story. I know if I had known some of the twisted fairy tale aspects of the book, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. Now that I'm engrossed in the story and in the characters and I'm rooting for a happy ending, I'm now hooked and can compartmentalize those not so nice things as just part of a Grimm's fairy tale sort of story. But for anybody picking it up expecting a nice, sweet, enchanting, magical fairy tale, it's not that. No, I just wanted to put that out there in case anybody wanted to pick it up. I'm not saying you shouldn't pick it up, I'm just saying proceed with caution. Okay, now for the things I found at Aldi. Let's start with something I've never ever tried before but have seen and wanted to have just try it once. This is a melting snowman. He looks so cute. It says white chocolate filled with marshmallows and dark chocolate drops. It's basically all of the things you need for a hot chocolate. You just have to add hot milk. Thought it was cute. I'd never tried one before, so I thought I would pick this up. And then I found these. I think they're kind of a dupe for Lindor's chocolates. The brand is Moser Roth. They had a couple different kind of boxes. I picked up the dark chocolate one. They look delicious, and I thought this felt very Christmassy, as I always pick up Lindor chocolates during the holidays to add to presents or include as a stocking stuffer, that kind of thing. But I've never tried these, so I thought I would. I will say there was tons of decor that I would love to pick up, but just couldn't right now. I might take a trip back in the future and save up for a couple pieces, because there were some really cute things that I'd love to add to my Christmas decor collection. But I did pick up this. It's a 1-wick candle called Gingerbread. The notes are cinnamon, ginger, and caramel, and it smells so good. Yum. I loved that it was a nice big candle, that it would last hopefully a good long time, and would make my loft smell really festive. Then, this is not Christmassy, but I'd never tried it before, so I figured I'd show you. I picked up something to drink when I was checking out. This is called Pure Aqua Belvi. It's sparkling water in the flavor of grapefruit. It's sodium-free, calorie-free, and sugar-free. And the only ingredients are sparkling water and natural flavors. That's it. I figured I'd try it just to see if I like it. It definitely, I could use a little more flavor than what it's giving, but on the whole, this isn't bad. I kind of like it. Yeah, you get a little bit of the flavor in the aftertaste, but apart from that, it's just a little too bland for what I'd prefer, but in a pinch, this is good. Now I've got to figure out how to tote all of this in, because I forgot that Aldi doesn't provide bags. You have to actually purchase them. And I didn't bring any with me, so I'm gonna have to get creative. Okay, it's a little while later, and I just finished the Book of Lost Things. Well, to start with, I got teary-eyed at the end, which doesn't happen often to me with books. I'm just gonna say it, taking into account all of those little warnings I gave you earlier, just in case you would dive into this not realizing that it's a twisted fairy tale. I have to say, it was incredible. From the perspective of evoking the right feelings at the right places, keeping you engaged with the story, it takes you from disliking the main character to rooting for their survival. The growth and development of the main character, David, is done so well. I'm pretty sure from start to finish, the story takes place just over a few days once David enters this fantastical world. As much growth in his character that happens, the quick pace of that growth is still believable. The gross parts are gross, the happy parts are happy, the danger feels imminent and real and gets your heart pounding when you're reading it. As for the villain in the story, I think this might be the best bad guy I've ever read. Not because you are surprised that he's the bad guy. There's no question. He's the bad guy right off the bat, and you know it. And you despise him the whole way through. But the level with which you despise him increases exponentially when you find things out. When you get into the not so nice stuff, the parts that make your stomach do funny things. It's not pleasant to read, but oh my word, the talent it takes to evoke that feeling in a reader, superb. Let me say this loud and clear, it is not for children. Please don't let your young children read this unless they have a very, 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 very high threshold for creepy things and potentially scary things that would have totally given me nightmares had I read it as a child. Please don't let your children read it, please. I was hooked from the beginning, but it took me until about chapter 12 to really be like, okay, I'm committed now. I want to know what happens. I need to see this book through. The plot and the danger and the character growth happen in rapid fire pretty much after that. I think this is the kind of book that's gonna be under the category of living rent-free in my mind for the rest of my life. I did a video recently of books that I reread every year because they're just that good. They're the kind of books that once you read them, they stay in your mind. The Book of Lost Things 100% will be that kind of book for me. I'm having trouble putting words to all the feelings I'm feeling. I'm fresh off of finishing this book, so I'm still processing the ending and processing the story. In fairness, I listened to about 2.5 hours of the story just today. A lot happened in a short amount of time, and so it's just all still kind of playing through my mind. Just like in every fairy tale, it teaches you valuable lessons. It takes bits and pieces from fairy tales we've grown up with and twists them into something unique. One of the qualities of this world that David finds himself in is that it wants to tell a story. It wants to make the person who's entered the world part of the story. So it will take aspects of that person, their fears, their likes, stories that they've read themselves, and will try to incorporate it in its own unique way into the world. Bits and pieces of fairy tales we all know and have grown up with find their way into this world, but in a way where they're almost unrecognizable. In fact, the villain of the story is based on a very well-known bad guy in fairy tales, and I didn't catch it at all until the end when it was kind of revealed who he was based off of. The author does a very good job at not making it boring, not making it feel repetitive, like, oh, we've heard this story a million times, Red Riding Hood and the Wolf, we get it, or whatever the story is. I can't compare it to the Chronicles of Narnia or Percy Jackson, any story in which a person from our world suddenly finds themselves in a magical other world. There's no comparison, particularly with how dark it is. I feel bad saying that it's dark and that it's twisted and it's creepy and, you know, evokes not so nice feelings, because I don't want to put you off reading it. I just want to make sure you're fully prepared if you do choose to pick this up, because those aspects of it aren't bad. They don't make it a bad book at all. In fact, they make it that much more engaging. I'm really glad I read it, and I'm extra glad I went into it completely blind. The Book of Lost Things is not the kind of book I would probably have gravitated to on my own, but I don't regret reading it. In fact, I want to buy my own copy of it because it left that much of an impression on me. Such a good book. Such a good book. It's going to be in my head for a long time. I'm gonna sit here and decompress for a while, but I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out together today. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers, which we're pretty close to now. I think we only need 55-ish subscribers more, which is really cool to say. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And let's see how big we can grow this family. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Guess what TV show my ringtone's from? And with that, I will leave you here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye!